Okay, guys, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast. This is the news episode.
News app.
Yeah. So this
we're going deuce. We're going dose.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but there is one human missing.
And usually I'm right here.
Our brother from another mother. Our man. He's a little bit on a vacay.
Yeah,
so
we'll
call it a vacay.
He is abducted by the employees of the pyramid. So. That's what we got going. Sorry about that.
But don't worry, we are going to make sure he is included in this episode, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is the news episode. So this is what we do about once a month.
Yeah, we typically once a month. I mean, ideally we would do it twice a month, but
yeah,
we're not there yet.
We try to catch up on the current events of the world and get our opinion on these sons of bitches.
Well, obviously our opinions are very prime, so
they're the most important.
Extremely important.
Yeah. Okay, so first up on the docket is the presidential race. Now, obviously, this might take most of the episode.
I know it's
we'll see.
Electric.
So on July 28th, President Joe Biden made the decision not to seek re-election, citing his age and the need for fresh leadership. This was also seemingly at the same time as when he disappeared for about 5 or 6 days.
He vanished.
Although he did say he had COVID and he was sick.
It just seemed a little convenient.
It was,
especially because he was extremely adamant.
Yeah, he said, "I'm not."
He was like,
out.
"No,
I'm not out."
They were trying to push him out, and he was like, "No."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm staying. I'm in for the long haul."
Yeah.
He was very adamant about not dropping out.
So it was very strange, and so we'll keep going. So, okay, he announced this decision through a carefully crafted message on Twitter, or X,
It was
as we
on
call
X,
it.
yes.
It was on X. Now, this is the strangest part because for the first time in history, X
was
like a presidential announcement.
and it was only on X.
Yeah.
He didn't it wasn't like on all platforms.
Yeah.
It was like X only.
Yeah.
And it was just like a letter.
Yeah, and did you notice that it didn't have the seal?
It didn't have the seal, and also there was people who looked at his signature based on like his actual presidential, thing. And they said it was different. I'm not like that worried about the signature thing, but I did think it was weird to have the seal. It wasn't like on the letterhead, like on the presidential letterhead. It was like a piece of paper, and he was like, "Ugh."
So the conspiracy of it is that he was, he's comatose and. And the powers that be were kind of like, hey, just
push this letter, this type
resignation.
This typed letter. Yeah, it's like when somebody has like a typed like suicide note.
Yeah,
it's like,
don't worry, just tweet it. Tweet it. Don't worry.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It was also weird too when he came back. I mean, this is just me being a conspiracy theorist, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
The show, the hat.
Yeah.
He looked very Slender Man-y when he came back. He looked he looked like fucking like Yao Ming.
Yeah.
He looked super tall.
So the question is did he get is it AI or did he just get like Botox? Or was he just sick and gone? You know when you ever been sick and after about 5 days you haven't had one bite to eat?
Like you drank like broth. Like just to survive.
So I don't know, that's the question is there you go. So
he looked abnormally tall.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be 6 feet.
True.
The motherfucker looked like 6'6". He looked like LeBron.
True. So he announced his decision on Twitter or X where he expressed his gratitude to the American public and he emphasized the importance of stepping aside for the next generation. The tweet, what do we call it? The X?
I think you'd still call it a tweet.
It's still a tweet, but it's on X.
I know, but I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
It's too.
So the X tweet quickly went viral, sparking widespread discussion and marking one of the biggest moments in politics in recent years, which is somebody resigning or not resigning, bowing out.
It's bowing
via
out.
Twitter.
It's bowing out of the race because of these points. Oh, I'm too old. I'm infantile. But then it's like, but I'm still gonna be the president for like 8 more months.
I know.
That was like the sketch thing. It's like, well,
I know.
Are you sure? Yeah. Like, why haven't they invoked the 25th Amendment? Like,
True.
And it's installed Kamala as the president because
and so the 25th Amendment is about like the president being.
He's it's pretty much an amendment that says like if the president is incapable of holding the office for whatever particular reason, whether they're sick or mental state, that they have that in place to then you're able to replace the president because they can't uphold the duties or the of the
right,
office.
Right. So the VP then would become...
But the VP then is the next
Yeah,
in line.
cool.
And then if the VP can't, something happens to the VP, then it's the Speaker of the House.
They're like backup players.
Yeah. It's like, you're like, you're the 12th man.
Yeah, exactly. So that was on July 28th. Then on August 2nd, Biden then announced that he was endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party lead or presidential candidate. Now, this was kind of surprising to me.
Extremely surprising.
I didn't actually expect it.
I didn't expect it at all.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but
It's also
those 5 days were strange.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't have any sort of, and even okay, yeah, I get it. If you're sick, like, sure, you're not going to make public appearances.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going to fault him for that.
Especially when you're 82.
Yeah, it was the fact that, like, he did it on X.
Right.
He didn't do like a video, like even like a short little like, hey guys, I've decided it's best for the party to do that, or best for the country to do this. Like, it was just like a note. Yeah. That's why I thought it was like weird. Like, that's strange. All we get is we haven't seen you for 5 days and you give us a note.
Very strange. Very strange. And so then, the Democratic National Committee then started acting on it, meaning they started going, okay, good, we need endorsements.
Yeah.
Endorsements. Okay, so if Biden says Kamala is the one, then now it's, let's go forward with that and raise money. And then also, like, start getting endorsements of celebrities.
Yeah. And other major
exactly.
people
Past
in the party.
presidents,
et
cetera. Yeah. So then on August 6th, Kamala decided that her VP running mate was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Real quick, before we get into Tim Walz, is that within a day, she had the highest.
This is the crazy part.
This is okay. And I'll explain why it's crazy. It's not just like my dislike of the woman. It's that she had the highest ever amount of donations in a day. It was like $81 million. Yep. Which we all, I mean, if you like use common sense, it's really that he took all the Biden donos and just like rolled over.
Yeah, because I heard, now correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that if all the money that was raised over the last year goes to the Biden-Harris campaign, and then Harris can use all that money used if she's still running, even for president.
Yeah, because she's still on the same ticket. It's on the same ticket. It's just a different. She's still on the ticket. Biden's on the ticket, but she still is, because technically the money was raised for that ticket.
That's right. Yeah.
So as long as she's still on it, they can use it. If not, they would have had to refund the donos. And then it's just like literally a nightmare.
Yeah, start over.
I know, like, how do you refund Venmo? How do we do this?
$12,000 donations.
I know, no. Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that was that was a little odd.
Yeah.
So continue.
So then she selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate, and that was a very strategic move for Minnesota, because that's a Midwest person or governor, and so she needs the Midwest.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party really needs the Midwest. So,
even though Minnesota is notoriously Democratic, it just is.
Yeah. Very true. So then, as we keep going in this whole story, is then on August 2nd, Joe Biden officially endorsed Kamala.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. August 5th, Barack Obama officially endorsed Kamala.
Like on a phone call that was recorded.
Yeah.
Which I also thought was a little odd. It's not like he went
super
out.
staged.
I see him being like
super staged.
Yeah. I just thought it was just a little like reality TV for me. Like, they're like,
hey,
there's like,
what's going on?
They just happen to have this 8K camera on me while I'm taking this phone call.
We did it, Joe.
I know. I just thought
Very
it was like,
similar.
it's very staged.
Yeah.
Like I think they could have did that better personally, because if he's going to endorse her, he's going to endorse her. I think that he could have. I kind of got the
vibe. I kind of got the vibe that he didn't really want to. And then, you know what I mean? And he's like, "Fuck it, I got no choice."
Like he catfished on a phone call. Like, who is this? It's Kamala. Shit.
I thought it was just strange that it took like 7 days for Barack to come out.
Yeah, and everyone,
it could have took.
Everyone was waiting for that one
exactly
specifically.
Yeah. So August 8th, Hillary Clinton former Secretary of State, and blah, blah, blah. You know, Hillary.
Maybe.
The whole thing.
Perhaps.
Yeah. August 10th, Elizabeth Warren endorsed her. August 12th, Nancy Pelosi endorsed her. Then a couple of celebrities, Oprah endorsed her. Taylor Swift endorsed her on August 9th. George Clooney endorsed her on August 11th. Beyonce, fucking Queen Bee came out.
I think it's so funny. Like, I just think it's so funny. Like, the society is like Taylor Swift endorsed her. So, like,
I know.
She's
what do they know?
I know. I'm like, they don't know
what do they know?
Shit. They don't know shit about, like, I'm sorry.
What do they know?
Like, it's
even Beyonce, I mean,
it's
like,
it's the same thing as, like, me endorsing her. It's like, who cares what I say?
I know.
Like, I mean nothing. I'm, like, so irrelevant. It's
Dude,
like, wow, this good country
honestly, you should
pop
tweet
singer.
and just be, like, super official. I endorse.
After many moons of discussions, I have finally. And the people are like, "Fuck you, shut up."
So August 13th, Beyonce endorsed her. August 14th, LeBron James endorsed her.
Yeah, once again, people who know nothing.
I don't know, but you know, it came with a whirlwind because in the last year of her VP-ship, I guess you would call it, or the presidency of Biden and her being the VP, she was one of the lowest rated.
I think she was.
VPs.
I think she was the lowest approval rating for a VP ever in the history of America.
So then, within 30 days, I mean, we'll take it even 15 days.
Yeah.
Within 15 days, then she shot up as the presidential candidate.
And a couple things on that, which I think is comical.
Yeah.
Is that statistically she's the lowest approval rating for vice president ever. You know, specifically her being responsible for the border. That was her responsibility. And obviously the VP usually has a lot to do with foreign relations and things such as that.
Right.
I mean, our foreign relations are like the worst they've been in a quite a long time.
A little rough
kind of like around the Bush era, level, like,
a little rough,
relations, like super rough. And then now all of a sudden she's being touted as a political mastermind, and so
she's intelligent. She was a DA, like that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's DA, that's great. No, that's cool. Good for you. I couldn't fucking pass law school for sure. Yeah. I'm not saying she's stupid, but I'm just saying that how is she now a political mastermind when she's the worst rated person, and like she has been one of the main people heavily advocating for Biden being lucid.
Yeah.
Even though we can all see that the man was not lucid at all. Like he was really
absolutely not. Yeah.
Like late stage dementia.
Even the most democratic voters were like,
so that's why I think it's interesting that they're like, well, you knew that. Yeah.
But it's funny because it does seem like an exercise in the media.
Oh, for sure.
Meaning all of a sudden there's so many people supporting her, and I don't know. It just seems like, who decides that? That's my question: is who decides that it's okay? Or I don't know. Like, all of a sudden it's Sean.
I'm in charge.
It's like, it's just such a support, and it's massive,
it's crazy support.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then also too, like the fact that I think she's the first presidential candidate ever who did not receive a single vote.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah, because she came in via
not one delegate vote.
Yeah.
Not a one.
Yeah.
So technically it's like, is that even legal? I mean, I don't even know what the rules are. I don't really know the rules. I just know that
it's like a kind of like a back end.
It's never happened before. I know, and RFK Jr. is like, what the fuck? I'm in this party too.
Like, I don't even have Secret Service.
I know. He's like, I
don't have anything.
I know. It's like so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like poor. It's not.
I don't know. I mean, like, I got it that we maybe are not a big fan of Kamala, but at the same time, we're just kind of confused about the whole system.
I mean, I think that RFK, like, he at least got some votes. Like, he should have gotten the nod.
I actually agree with you.
I think he should have gotten the nod.
I actually agree.
I think he would have been a good fight. Him and Trump.
Feel like we don't know
I actually kind of like RFK too. Like,
I feel like we don't know what happened. The back end.
Oh no, I definitely don't know. Who was in that room.
Remember when he was in the
Situation room?
Remember he was in the Democratic Party?
Oh, then he switched to Independent.
And he switched.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
They probably told him like,
you're gonna fucking never.
No,
you're never gonna win.
I guarantee what happened. He was like, you got to see that Biden's like fucking like out to lunch.
Yeah.
Like the guy's not there, and they're like,
Yeah.
it'll never be you.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, you know what, fuck off. I'm going independent.
Although he's very anti-pharmaceuticals and anti-bank.
Yes.
So
Yeah, they're probably like, you're like 60% of our money is coming from that.
I mean, no matter what your other views are on the Democratic side,
Yeah,
like
no.
if you're gnarly against,
You're going
that,
against the people who are funding your
yes,
campaign.
exactly. Yeah.
And I also think that's like, it's such a shit show. Like I was even talking to my mom about this, because my mom, you know, my mom watched our Trump episode, and she was like, kind of like
some good and some bad.
Yeah, she had like some words to say, and I was like, look, and I'm like, I just wanted her to know, and I say this a lot, guys. I just want you guys to know too. Like, I do harp on Kamala, and I'm not some Trump zealot where I like, you know, Trump's the Messiah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate them all. I think our best bet to survive as like the number one nation on the earth is for to have Trump. That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Like I think the whole system is fucked.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as they made lobbying legal, which is the legal bribery of the people who make laws, I was like, the system's kind of shit.
Curious, where's your mom lie?
So my mom's interesting. My mom's like I say she's more moderate Democratic. Like she's a Democrat, but is
she for Kamala? I mean, I don't want to like throw her out. Like,
I don't know.
Like,
we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't talk about. I didn't want to get into it with her.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell her, like, hey, look, I actually hate both sides. Like, I don't want to talk about politics. I love you, and like, regardless of how you vote, I'm always gonna love you.
It just so happened that we were talking about Kamala.
Yeah, and
so you were like, okay, that's my opinion.
So
on
she
Kamala.
is more or less. I know her views on Trump. She doesn't like Trump. She thinks Trump's racist, and I was like, I don't think he is, and she thinks he is. I'm like, it's fine, whatever. Like your views. And I was just like, I don't want to fight. But my mom's like, my mom likes guns. Like she has a gun. She has her carry and conceal license. Like so she's pro that. But then so if she's that's why I say she's more moderate.
She's like half and half.
Yeah,
she's got like half.
Yeah,
things that on the Republican
and which I
side
think
and
is
half.
actually the sanest possible viewpoint.
Absolutely,
is to like
I'm
why you have to be one or the other? Why can't you just be a little bit of both?
Honestly, I'm with your mom. I'm like very centered.
Yeah, I think that's the way. I think it's actually like the best possible viewpoint. Is like I like some things they're doing. I like some of the things they're doing.
Right.
We should just meet in the middle.
Find the best way.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, I know sometimes we get feedback about, it's too much politics on our news episodes, but we're in an election year.
I mean, what do you want us to do?
I don't know what to tell you.
It's all the news is.
Yeah,
this
so
is the only news available.
It's August, and by November we'll be about done with this stuff.
Thank God. So, I can't wait to be done with this. Like God,
so
it was such a glorious, so beautiful.
Seriously,
I forgot how much I hated it.
Yeah,
and then I get the politics, and it's not like I get angry with other people. I get angry at the system.
Right.
When most people, some people, like, they get angry at each other. I'm like, I fucking hate the system so bad. It's so gross.
Yeah. It's weird. It pits us against each other.
I know. I think it's the point.
Yeah.
I think it's the point is you can't have, because technically, if you're, say like you're a government person and you're on the take, obviously they all are.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, like this is really dope. I'm getting paid $160K a year, but like, my fucking brokerage account has like $300 million in it. Yeah. You're like, I want to keep this going.
Yeah.
You can't have the majority being like, what are you doing?
Right.
And they're going to be like, you all need to step down or there's going to be a problem. Right. That's why you need to have sides. Yeah. Because if 50% of the people are on one side and 50% of the people on the other side, you'll never get all of the people to be like, fuck you.
Right.
So I think it's created that way.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, moving on from politics.
Thank God.
Yeah. So Matthew Perry, beloved for his role as Chandler Bing, Friends.
Did so good.
He was found dead at his L.A. home.
In his pool.
Yeah. The initial report suggested that Perry, who had a well-documented history of struggle with addiction, he may have died of natural causes. So the first week was like, he just died of natural causes. Yeah. At the age of 54, which is strange.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of stuff too about like his posts on like social
I know
media.
His last post, he was in the hot tub.
I know, like literally, and he was like, "I'm Batman," or like, I'm Batman, or whatever the fuck. I was like, that doesn't sound like a homie that's like trying to
remind me not
end
to
it all.
Remind me not to post some shit.
You're like,
I know. Sorry, buddy.
You're like your bathtub.
I know. I really love Matthew Perry.
I
though.
love Matthew Perry. I thought he was
loved him.
amazing. I love Friends. I think everyone
Fucking
loves
Chandler
Friends.
was the best one of
Dude, he
all
was,
of them.
Him and Joey. Him and Joey. Yeah, him and
together.
Joey are my two favorites.
Yeah. It sucked.
Yeah,
it was
Ross,
horrible.
ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, David Schwimmer.
So he, it all like the whole world was shocked by this, and people came out and they spoke about it and they mourned him and his colleagues, etc. And he was discovered by a friend who had come to visit him that evening. Emergency responders were called to the scene, but Perry was pronounced dead upon their arrival. The initial autopsy report indicated that there were no signs of foul play, no external injuries, and his death was initially believed to be natural causes, which is strange at 54 years old.
Yeah, but technically he was like.
But it could be a heart attack.
Yeah, because he was doing a lot of coke and shit. Like he was. I mean, he was spending like millions.
Do you
of dollars
consider
on
a heart attack a natural?
Yeah, I mean,
like if I died right now of a heart attack, would you be like, he died of natural causes?
I mean, technically, if you think about it, like heart disease is like the biggest killer in like the nation. Yeah. So like it would be considered because there's not.
Although I'm not 54.
No, because there's not like an external influence. Obviously, it's something that's happening in your body because of what you've done to it, but it's not like I shot you.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like external, and that's an external thing causing the death.
Although if you were like mid-30s and you have a heart attack, I wouldn't say Sean passed of natural causes.
I'd be like, something's going on here. I'm like, damn it,
he's super stressed out.
I told him to chill out on the government.
However, toxicology reports later revealed that the presence of various prescription drugs
I was wondering, there was
in his system, leading authorities to suspect that he abused substances as he had told everybody about in his book.
Yeah, his book, and he did like a big interview thing too. That's right. He was like, I was like fucking doing crazy shit.
So this discovery prompted a deeper investigation, and I actually didn't even know this, which eventually led to the arrest of those that were connected to drug trafficking, suspected of supplying Perry with drugs kind of like under the table. Or like...
Oh, prescription drugs.
Yes.
Oh, see, that's what it is. Obviously, it's like illegal drugs, sure, but they're getting him actual prescription drugs. And there's been a lot of us like on that where like you have these like pill farms and like they're like legit doctors' offices, but they're like funneling shit out. They have fake patients and shit. Like real crazy. Yeah.
So in that development, on August 10th, so a week ago or so, law enforcement apprehended 3 suspects linked to a drug trafficking ring that allegedly supplied Perry with illicit substances. The investigation revealed that Perry had been receiving prescription drugs and other controlled substances from his network, and these suspicions may have contributed to his demise.
At least they're doing something. Hey, good.
So exactly.
Like, so they just like sweep that under the rug.
They arrested these individuals and they faced charges including drug trafficking, conspiracy, and conspiracy for involuntary manslaughter for Matthew Perry.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
fuck yeah. I mean, it sucks that it happened, but at least I'm happy to see something happening.
Surprisingly, I didn't see this a lot in the media.
Not at all.
Yeah,
not a one.
Yeah, you knew he died.
I got an alert on my phone. They were like, people arrested, and I was like,
so I don't know. I mean, that's what happens when you abuse anything. I mean,
dude. I mean, if I took enough caffeine, I could die.
Yeah.
Like,
so
if I took enough Zyrtec, I'd probably fucking die.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. All right, that's Matthew Perry. Next on the docket, the Olympics. 2024 Olympics in Paris. The opening ceremony of the 2024 Olympics were held on July 26, 2024. This is when
I boycotted the Olympics at this exact moment. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
The first opening presentation, the opening thing happened, and it was fucking
not well received. Not well received by anybody.
So the ceremony aimed at celebrating diversity and inclusivity. And it featured a segment where drag artists took the stage, and it represented France's commitment to the LGBTQ plus their rights and freedoms of expression. The bold move, though, was intended to highlight that progress that was being made in Paris. Yeah, but it ended up being so over the top, where you have
it was a lot
extreme drag.
It was extreme. And it was like, look, I mean, I
was taken aback.
Dude, I couldn't believe they did a drag version of The Last Supper, and I was like,
Bro.
I'm like, dude, there's like 2 billion Christians. And I'm
on.
like, I mean,
Do like
wow. I
do
was like,
something else.
anything else.
Do it.
Anything else.
Do a drag recreation of cats.
I know anything.
Something.
Like, I was like, damn, like and then I was like, bro, I was like, what's happening? I didn't even understand what was happening.
It was one of the most cringy parts.
And I was like, look, I'm all for the having the rights for sure. Like, by all means, like, live your life.
But the bearded lady with
the fucking Vikings, I was like saying, like, they look like straight Vikings.
So
like the beards were thick. I was
so
like, damn, I wish I had a
rough.
beard that thick.
Oh God.
It was just, and my thing about that is like, look, like, me saying this is not against the LGBTQ plus community at all. Like 100%.
No.
Live your life. But if I'm sorry, like, and we get this a lot because like we see a lot of these things, and they'll have kids at these parades and stuff, and there's just dudes walking around naked.
Yeah.
If I were to expose myself to a child, I would be arrested instantly and put in prison and labeled a sex offender. But somehow it's okay for them to do it because they're expressing themselves. I'm like, come on, they have to abide by the same rules.
Right.
Like, express yourself. By all means, have your rights. But why you gotta be showing your dick to kids? Man? Like, come on, to kids. That's that's when the line gets.
I know.
I have to draw the line.
I know.
I'm like, if you show it to like a bunch of like older people, fine, they can handle that.
So one of the highlights was a dramatic rendition of the French national anthem, which was La Marseillaise, which was performed by a drag queen in a gown resembling the French flag. The performance ended with a powerful message of unity, but while the performance was celebrated as bold and inclusive, it also faced criticism, which was some viewers, particularly on the conservative side and religious communities, found the display to be too provocative for an Olympic ceremony. Additionally, a few countries with strict LGBTQ plus laws reportedly voiced their disapproval and even threatened to boycott the entire
There was, I think, there were
Olympics.
sponsors too that pulled their sponsorship from the Olympics. I just thought it was a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, and I just think because
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's like 2 billion Christians,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I knew that was not going to be received well.
Once you started hitting on the Christian parodies,
I know, I was like, I was like, that's not going to, people are not going to be really happy
that's
about
dangerous
that at all.
So I don't know. I mean, the drag show itself became, on one side, like trying to bring in the cultural differences of Paris, but on the other side, it became inappropriate, embarrassing, and rough for our children I
also
don't
just think
know.
like, what is it? Just when I think of the Olympics, I think of like, awesome. This is every country's chance to fucking win like glory and honor for their countries. And I just thought it was very non sequitur. I was like, what does this have to do with anything?
Right.
I don't understand.
Right.
I don't know what it has to do. That
Also,
was my
a good
point.
statistic would be to know what percentage of the world is LGBTQ plus.
Oh, in terms of people, I mean, it's in terms of the world, it's like
it's
less than
5%? No,
it's less than 1%.
Yeah, so
It's
so
less
you're
than
kind of catering.
It's less than 1%.
So you're kind of catering to a very small,
An extraordinarily,
audience.
exorbitantly
Yeah.
small.
Which I
And I'm
don't.
not- that's not
I
like
don't
that's not like
mind.
a dig on
I
it.
don't.
I'm just saying,
I don't necessarily mind it. I just also, talking to our LGBTQ plus community. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if being lumped into all of that is the same for each person. Like, I don't know if a bisexual man wants to be lumped into that as a category.
Oh, of course. And
so
dude,
I don't know.
I don't
know.
A dude like my mom's got really good fucking gay friends, and like I'm friends with a bunch of gay dudes. And gay dudes are actually the shit.
Yeah.
They're fucking awesome.
They're way happier than most people.
They're so happy. And I'm like, God, I'm like always like
They must be
complaining
just-
about my life, and they're like, my life rules.
Yeah, they must be doing something right.
I know, it's like they're killing it. But I even know like the ones that I know personally aren't like to that extreme.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like throw it in your face.
Yeah.
Like that's. And I'm like, why? It's really a lot.
Yeah.
It was just a lot. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like trust me. I want you to have all the rights in the fucking world.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, that was a lot.
Like, I'm just saying, I don't know if the, like, say, bisexual person that I know wants to be associated with the woman who has a beard.
Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense?
No,
like
totally,
you're kind of lumping in categories.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, like we're all this. We're all,
like maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll get some feedback. Maybe you guys, you guys tell me what the fuck I'm talking about.
We're totally open, and this is just our one viewpoint of billions of viewpoints.
So again, in going forward, and now this is kind of in the same category, which is in the Olympics. There was the male/female boxer who won gold.
Yeah, and there was actually two.
There
was two that both won gold.
Yeah, that's right.
And they were just different weight classes, but 2 won gold.
So there was one which was Ayman Khalef, the Algerian boxer. Yeah.
And there was the other one was from like, I forget. I think it was one of in the Asias.
Yeah.
I know it was in Asia somewhere.
So all I know about is Ayman. Is that how you say it? Ayman.
I'm not Algerian.
Ayman. She won the gold medal. She won the gold medal in the women's welterweight boxing category in the Olympics, sparking controversy because Khalif transitioned from male to female, and it was complied with all International Olympic Committee regulations for transgender athletes, including maintaining low testosterone levels and undergoing hormone therapy.
But there's mixed reviews. Now they're saying that she didn't transition. Mm-hmm. She was born with this rare disease where she had XY chromosomes as well, but like extremely high testosterone levels. So I was like, because even if it's that, even if it's that, I still don't think that's fair, because in a sport like boxing, if you have a natural, I have a fucking 50 times more testosterone than anyone else in the entire sport. You're gonna shit on everybody. I know. I'm sorry. Like,
you did.
It just seems like it is. And I told this to my mom. We're talking about the Olympics, and I was like, look, I'm not a pro like weed guy. I'm not a pro drug guy.
Right.
Like, I'm actually against almost all drugs. But the fact that homegirl, who's the sprinter for America?
Simon.
No, the chick.
Simon Bowles.
No, she's a gymnast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's Simone.
Yeah. It's Simone.
Simon. No, it's oh man, her name is like Sha'Carri Richardson. So she was pretty much disqualified. I think this was either the last Olympics or something. She was DQ'd because she had weed in her system. And they DQ'd her for that. Which, I'm sorry, in sprinting, weed is not an enhancing drug.
Yeah, if anything, it's depressing.
It's going to make you worse at the sport.
Lethargic.
Like, literally, so she's going to get the DQ'd for a thing that makes you literally worse at running, whereas the thing that makes you far superior in combat sport, testosterone, they're going to be like, nah, it's cool. Yeah. It's super fine. Yeah. So that's my thing. Like, even if she is a she, naturally was born a she.
Yeah.
Totally fine. I still think it's an extremely unfair advantage.
Yeah.
For all for anything, I'm sorry, it's like, if we had like a birth contest, I'd be like, no, the woman has an unfair advantage. Like,
she's gonna win.
I know she's gonna crush me.
Even if she has a little bit of extras.
I'm fucked. Yeah. So that was my point.
Yeah, I get it.
And I don't know what the truth is.
So I don't know what the answer is, because she also has been pretty closed
apparently
about
she's suing people now.
Yeah, about what happened with her transition. And now we gotta also recognize and acknowledge that there are some people that are born as male, but then they're anomalies. Now you got to keep that in mind. They're anomalies.
They are.
And they're born.
It happens.
Yeah, and they're born maybe with a little, little couple chromosomes that are a little bit different.
Totally.
And we gotta know that. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the case, I understand it.
Yeah.
I still think in a combat sports situation, it is an extreme advantage.
Especially boxing.
It is extreme advantage.
Especially boxing.
Yeah, like anything you hit other people, it's just an advantage.
Yeah.
So that should have been taken into account. Maybe move her up a weight class or something. Right. I'd be cool with that.
This isn't like volleyball.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Like, she beat the shit out of that chick. Yeah. God, she ruined her.
She killed her.
Oh my God, it was ruthless.
God.
I felt so bad for that chick. Shit kicked out of her.
So the Olympics wrapped up. The United States won again as far as a medal count goes. The United States ended with 126 medals.
We tied China, though, for golds.
We tied China. That is right. 40-40. 40 golds, 40 each.
Damn it.
So here are the top 10 real quick. United States, 126. China, 91. Japan, 45. Australia, 53. France, 64. Netherlands, 34. Great Britain, 65. But they got tons of bronze.
30 bronze.
Tons of bronze. South Korea had 32. Italy had 40. And Germany at the 10th place at 33.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'd fucking be happy with the bronze, bro.
I
The
know.
Olympics, I'd be flossing that bronze.
I know. Pretty rad. All right, there you go. There you guys go. That's our news for the month. We'll catch you next month on the new news of the month.
The new news. Nighty night.